Yeah.
Is it too greedy to ask for a second song? Hey, everybody, welcome to American Idol Unaired. I'm your host, Bennett Shear. Today we are talking to Destiny Reeves. What's up, Destiny?
Hi. I'm so glad to be here.
Oh, I'm so glad to meet you. Please introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about you and your journey on American Idol.
My name is Destiny Reeves. I'm from Grantville, Georgia. I am 24 years old. I've been singing since I was like 2 years old, but I did my first solo when I was like five. I grew up in the church, singing in the choir, doing all type of events, singing at weddings, funerals, all type of stuff, So a lot of people know that I can sing like around town and I'm just grateful to be on American Idol. I had the opportunity to meet some great people. So yeah.
Now, how far did you make it on the show?
So I actually made it all the way to Showstopper.
Were you approached? Did you audition yourself?
Someone actually reached out to me. They DM'd me on Instagram. I thought it was a scam, but because you know how we get these type of notifications and people just DMing you on Instagram and stuff. So I thought it was a scam, and they was telling me about I think you should try out for American Idol. But I think it was a talent agent, to scouting for different talent for the show. But I just thought it was a scam. So they inboxed me and I just kind of, brushed it off and I just ignored it. And then I think they reached out to me again and kind of brushed it off. And then they reached out to me again like a third time and was just like, "Hey, did you sign up, or we're getting close to the deadline as far as signing up?" So I was just like, "Yeah, I did," but I really didn't. And then I was just like, "You know what? Maybe it's not a scam. Let me just go ahead and sign up." And I signed up, and then yeah, after I got done signing up, I just got an email, saying, when the date to, audition and stuff like that. So I was like getting prepared. And then I auditioned, and then I don't know if I made it to the next round. They didn't let me know right then and there. And then I just maybe like a week or two later, after I did my audition, I got an email saying, "Hey, this is your audition date." So I'm like, okay, because they didn't really inform me. They just went straight to the point. So I'm like, okay. So I auditioned, and then I guess that's when they determined right then and there when if I made it to the actual audition to meet the judges. And I was like so excited because I've tried out for American Idol like maybe two or three times, and I've always, like, so what you see on like TV is not actually what, you see. You have to go through different rounds before you even get to, the judges round. So I've auditioned maybe like two or three times. So I just auditioned, and I made it to the first round, but the second round I would never make it. But for some reason, like this time, like I made it through, and this was my first time making it this far, and actually just being on the judges audition part and making it all the way through. So I was like very excited because this was something new for me and something I've always, wanted to do and always dreamt of doing.
Well, tell me about the first couple times. And do you remember what seasons you auditioned for previously?
I don't remember what season I auditioned. No.
Mm. When you did say that a casting producer reached out to you, was that over the course of just this one season or the other times? I mean, when you tried out before in past years, was that by yourself or
Yeah, so actually, this time when I auditioned, they reached out to me, but
right?
the other two or three times that I auditioned, this was I think before COVID when you had to go and stand in line and the process. So yeah, but it was the first time I auditioned. Well, no. The first two times I stood in line when they came to Atlanta. The third time was when I did it. It was through Zoom on my own. And then this time somebody reached out to me and I did the process.
Mm. What was it telling you? You know what? I finally got to give this a shot.
Just that drive, like, okay, I'm not gonna stop. I'm not gonna stop. I'm not gonna give up. I'm gonna just keep doing it because something gotta give. Like, I know I'm not, even though it's these stumbling blocks, even though, not audition is not working out the way I want it to, but I'm gonna still keep auditioning. So when I actually did it this time, it was like a relief because I'm like, okay. I've always told myself I just want to make it to the judges round. I want for them to hear me like I want to make it to that round. Like that was always my main goal. So I got a chance to go through it with the judges.
And you made it all the way to Showstoppers.
I did.
You watched American Idol a lot as a kid growing up.
I started watching American Idol when Fantasia was on the show. She was my favorite person, and she's still my idol to this day. And I just remember seeing her throughout the whole season. I was little though. I was like 5 or 6. I just remember her going on the show, and I was just like, I'm gonna be like her. I'm gonna be on the show. And then like it just I just feel like she's very relatable. Like I can relate to her because like all the things like she's been through and stuff like that, and she made me want to be on American Idol.
It's so wild, right? To think that they went through the same exact thing as you did.
Yes. Well, except they didn't have the technology that we have now.
That's true. That to me is interesting as well because they wouldn't have even done this whole scouting thing that you went through to get on the show. They did have to stand in line.
Yep. And then now they have it to where you can sing with a piano player and stuff now. They didn't used to have that. You just have to sing a cappella 20 seconds or something. You just have to get right into it. But now, you can sing with instrumental or a cappella or guitar, however you want to do it now.
I want to kind of rewind a little bit and hear more about your beginnings way before American Idol because if you're watching Idol at 5 years old and you want to be like Fantasia, you probably wanted to sing since you were at least five, if not before then,
Yeah.
right?
So I've been singing since I was 2, where my mom found me on the toilet. And she just, you know how you sit on the toilet and you just be humming like a 2-year-old. And that's when she figured that I could sing because, 2-year-old, they can't really talk. So I guess when music was playing, I could hold a tune, like I would stay on the note. I could hold a tune, I can sing along with the song. So she figured that, okay, she has a voice, like I can hear something in her. I just don't know what. And then I did my first solo at the age of 5. I was in church, and that's when I knew I wanted to become a singer ever since then because I just I felt like I sounded good, and then the people in the audience, the church, they had I had a standing ovation, and people clapping and stuff, and so I've been wanting to sing since I was like 5 years old. Ever since then, I've been doing my music. I even performed at the Apollo in New York City when I was nine
Wow.
years old. I
Wow.
actually won first place too, but it's different rounds that you have to go through. Like it's not like where you put like singers against singers, dancers against dancers, poets, all that. Everybody is like in one category, and it's based off the crowd audience who gets the loudest, who gets the loudest crowd. So when I was 9 years old, I performed there and I won first place. And then I went back again for a second time. I didn't win that time. Then I went back again when I was 15. I won first place again. So yeah.
Mm. Do you like competition?
Um, somewhat. I like competition a little, but I don't want to like base my talent off of who's the best because I feel like everybody is their own person and their own unique way. But I'm not gonna back down to a challenge. But yeah,
It's about the fun. It's not about
yeah,
beating other people, right? It's just about experiencing
yes,
the challenge. You're going against yourself, right? And
yeah,
being better every time. Apollo Idol, right? Like you get first place doing that. I mean, it's cool. You have so much experience, and you've been at this for a long time. Do you write? Do you earn stuff in addition to singing covers? Tell me about the stuff that you were
yes.
putting out before Idol.
So I be on social media a lot. Like I get on live. I get on like Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. But I feel like my fan base is more so Facebook.
Mm,
But TikTok is getting up there a little bit now. And I need to get my Instagram more popular as well. But I've always like did my covers, doing lives, going on live, and just doing all type of stuff like that. Cause one of the songs on my Facebook, I did a gospel song. It was called Better Days by Leandra Johnson. And it went viral. I had got like 1.5 million views.
wow.
But since Facebook has this new thing to where like it's like a professional mode, you don't see your views no more. You can just see the shares now. Like I guess it's like starting all the way over from like scratch. Like your videos are still up there, but you can't see your old like views and all that
Mm-hmm.
no more.
Hmm.
But that video had
But you
went
can see
viral.
how many people have shared it with other people.
Yeah, I can still see
Okay.
my shares, but the views are not up there anymore. Unless you re-looked at it since I updated my profile to professional mode.
Just hearing you talk about, well, we have Facebook and TikTok and Instagram. That's another thing that's different from 20 years ago.
Yeah.
It's not about impressing the people who work at a record label as much as it is about impressing your direct audience that you can connect with basically anybody at any time, anywhere in the world, right? It's
Yeah.
pretty wild. You mentioned gospel music and you mentioned that one of your first big performances was in the church. I'm curious about some of the artists that might be influences of yours, whether they are gospel artists or other genres. Talk about that.
I'm very big on the gospel industry, but I love my R&B. Like my influences are Whitney Houston, Fantasia, of course. I love Jasmine Sullivan. Like even like the older singers like Anita Baker, Aretha Franklin, like those type, because they grew up in the church as well, but they still like did they R&B, their secular music, but they still find a way to bring back their roots as far as like where they grew up. They still gonna sing the gospel.
Very cool. Now going back to Idol and you're auditioning and you're kind of thinking about who you are as an artist, what are some of the songs that you picked because you go through that audition process? You explained it. There's virtual auditions and you're meeting with producers. So who are some of the artists that you covered in the auditions?
Yeah, so I did Lips Are Moving by Megan Trainor because I'm an artist to where I'm very versatile. So I can sing like anything as far as like gospel, R&B, pop, anything. So I did Lips Are Moving by Megan Trainor. Oh, I did I Love the Lord by Whitney Houston. And those two are the only two I sung. But just in case they needed a backup song, my song was gonna be 2002 by Ella Marie.
Is it Anne Marie?
Anne
Oh,
Marie.
I love that song. You know
Yeah.
Ed Sheeran wrote that song?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Did the producers give you any feedback or was it more about just giving you a yes or a no to get on TV?
It was pretty much a yes and no, trying to see what are the perfect songs, like the artist that I'm trying to become, just, just be aware of that.
Right. Yeah. Who would you say? I mean, I know you kind of described your genre a little bit and the different influences you have, and you said you're very versatile. I
Hmm.
know that producers in the show they care a lot about who you are as an artist and a
Yeah.
person and the whole package. So
Yes.
who is Destiny Reeves?
Well, I feel like Destiny Reeves is an artist that I don't want to just label myself as Destiny the gospel singer, Destiny the R&B singer, but I'm more of like a soulful singer.
Mm-hmm.
Like to where like when you write songs, you can either be talking about a love song or you could be talking about, God or like some type of positive situation that you're going through. So more so of like uplifting, soulful type of singer.
Finding out that you're actually going to present that package of you as an artist on TV. And what city did you go to film?
I went to Tennessee, Nashville. I was there for about 6 days.
Start out with day zero, right? Where you're just kind of getting ready and they still do COVID tests.
Yes, they do. They still have COVID tests. You have to get a COVID test like every day.
What was your experience like getting interviewed, doing B rolls?
It was quite an experience because I felt like doing that type of stuff will, only make me a better artist when becoming a singer and living that type of lifestyle. You have to film, you have to know how to talk. All that was just preparing me.
You're in that interview room for like 30, 45 minutes, right? Even though it only gets cut down if they air you, but they ask you so many questions about
Yeah.
everything.
Once in a while it becomes repetitive. Probably to get the same question, but try to word it differently each time so they can see which one sounds better, probably.
Right, for the cutting. B roll, when you're a singer, I feel like it's wild when you know that you just are supposed to be focused on your performance and having the best vocals and presenting yourself to the judges, but then it's a TV show, so they want you to perform as a person as well. And
Yeah.
there's a lot to take in and a lot to learn, like you said, because all of this is going to apply and help you.
Yeah.
Who did you meet? I want to hear about some of the contestants that you got to know, and maybe if you made any friends in Nashville.
I met Elijah. We still talk to this day. That's like my brother now. Kaya Monet, PJ, Malik, Mariah. Mariah and we met in Tennessee, in Nashville. I got to meet her and her mom and all that. And we became, really close and, talking and stuff. Michael, is it Michael
Williams?
Williams? Oh, and also Lucy Love. We became pretty much like a family. Like everybody was just all together. Like because okay, so yeah, boom. So when we went to Hollywood, of course, you're meeting everybody and newer people that was from other states.
Right.
You pretty much you kind of starting all over again. Of course, you know the people that you auditioned with in the state you did, but now that we're in LA, you get to meet all the contestants that made it through. So it was just like, okay, like kind of nervous. You don't know what you're gonna get yourself into. You don't know how these people sound because you haven't saw them at all. You just know the people that you met. And so as the days went by, we became really like a big family. Like everyone was like all together. Like we was coming together, we was hanging out, singing together, just exchanging numbers, Instagrams, everything. Everybody was like pretty much getting along on one accord. It was like a family, like a really like a family reunion because everybody was we was really like one. We was singing together and hanging out and all that.
When you go into the audition to see the judges, what day was that? Because again, several days that you're there, day one, two.
I was actually the last. I was the last group. So it's day one, day two, day three, and day four. So I was day four, and I was like third to the last to audition. Like for the whole audition, like they went to New Orleans and Vegas, and then they went to Nashville. Nashville was the last state that they went to, and I I was third to the last to audition of the entire show as far as audition rounds, like a route. Like, okay, that's a route. Now I'm finna go to LA. I was the third to the last of everybody from states to audition. I was third to last.
So are you feeling the pressure then? Because they've seen everybody. Obviously, you got to bring it.
Yes, because I feel like by that time they're so exhausted, they're ready to get it over with so they can get on to the next thing. Oh, and Oliver, who is a contestant from the show, he was the last person to audition. It was me. I can't remember who it was after me, and then it was him.
Oliver Steele, right?
Yes.
Well, when you walk through that door and you see their faces, what are you feeling?
I didn't know how to feel. My mind was just somewhere else.
What was the atmosphere and the vibe with you and the judges? Remember anything particular that was fun or witty or anything like that about the conversation?
So I got a standing ovation from all three judges. Lionel Richie, I guess he loved me. He came over there and hugged me and all that. And then we was talking. And then I told him that my grandma went to school with him. My
Oh
grandma
my
went to
gosh.
Tuskegee. He's from Tuskegee, Alabama, and he went to
Mm-hmm.
that school as well. My grandma went to that school too, and they were freshmen. They went to school together. They were freshmen in college. So what they asked me was my grandma here, and I said no, just my mom. He asked me where my phone was, so they grabbed my
Oh
phone and
my
he called
God.
my grandma. He called my grandma and she didn't know like who is this calling? Who is this on the phone? Because he called her from my phone. Lionel Richie was like, you know who this is? She was like, no. He was like, this your classmate. This Lionel Richie. And so she was just like, you're kidding me. You're kidding me. No, it's not. And then he was just like, yes, it is. And then he was just like, well, I just want to let you know that your granddaughter has an amazing voice. We love her. She's gonna do, great things, and you should be very proud of your granddaughter. Katie, Luke, and Lionel, they all talked on the phone with my grandma, and they all gave me a yes, like you're going to Hollywood. It's a yes for me. It's a yes for me. It's a yes for me. And they did all that while on the phone with my grandma. I couldn't, it was like, I couldn't even cry, but it was just tears of happiness. Like I couldn't even
Wow.
cry because I didn't know how to feel. Like I was so happy.
Wow. And did you sing one of the songs you told me about before, either Megan Trainor or Love the Lord? Which one did you sing?
No, I actually sung Natural Woman by Aretha Franklin.
I know they gave you a standing ovation. Did they get into any feedback?
Luke actually loved me. He didn't have no words to say. And he was just like, you're so good. And Lionel, he just loved me, like, because I guess like he comes from a small town and he knows about like that church, so he loved me. But I do remember Katie, she loved me, but I do remember her saying, when you sing, just make sure you hold back on the bravado just a little bit. Because, I grew up in the church and, I have a strong bravado when it comes to singing.
I can't imagine just casually being like, "Hey, Grandma, it's Lionel Richie."
Yeah, he actually took my phone and was talking to her on my phone.
Wow. Even more importantly, you finally auditioned for the judges, which was a goal that you had had for such a long time.
Yes.
And then you get the golden ticket. So that's the icing on the cake, right?
Yeah.
And then I know that they still have you filming more stuff because they're not done with you yet. They need to get your
Yeah, like
reactions
I had to
and
take my pictures and then just, pretty much telling them how did I think I did, how are you feeling, stuff like that.
and then we get into Hollywood Week, which is where you meet a lot more people. Are you introverted, extroverted? How are you in big groups of people?
Groups of people doesn't bother me because I love to talk. I get to know a lot of people. Like I'm not saying I'm gonna just go up to you and just talk like, hey, this and that. But if the vibe and the energy there and we're talking among each other, then yes, I'm gonna continue to talk. But I just don't like walk up to people and introduce myself. It just all depends on the setting.
Right. And who is your duet partner?
Cooper, she hasn't aired. She's not gonna air. I met her actually in Nashville too.
So it must feel nice when you get a paired with a familiar face. I know duets can be nerve wracking. Not that the act of doing a duet is intimidating, but just as the competition heats up and as it gets more intense and it's such a late night, being with someone that you know might have felt nice, right?
Yeah. You have to learn the song that night because the next day you perform it. Because I remember standing up to about 3 o'clock in the morning trying to get the song together. Not saying I didn't know my song, but I knew it, but I didn't know it. So I was just, trying to, it's a group, well, two people. So we're trying to see what we can do differently or as far as like some,
Wow, what song?
Lift Me Up by Rihanna.
They secured a big song on that clearance list.
I was surprised that that was on the list because that song at the time had just came out.
Maybe the people on the music team had like an in with her. I don't know,
Yeah,
manager
probably
or
so.
someone. Yeah, that's probably how it happens in the industry. Because they had an Adele song last year. They had "Easy on Me" right after it came out, and I'm
Really?
like, yeah, maybe it's about that one. Every year they get that one lucky song.
Okay.
So you and Cooper, well, how was the feedback from the judges? Did they give you any details or?
It actually went good, but unfortunately, she didn't make it. I made it
Mm,
through. They loved it. They just thought me and her had similar voices.
mm,
Like it was kind of like compatible. I don't know what they was kind of looking for in duet round. I don't know if you want a R&B singer with a country singer. I don't know. I didn't know. I just remember them saying that we kind of had similar voices. Not saying she sounds like me, but we're very similar as far as like same genre. And I do remember Lionel Richie saying, Destiny, now is the time where you really, really, really have to figure out, your artistry as far as like what lane you want to go in. So yeah, I remember him saying that.
well, let's talk about that because you've established that you're able to be many things in one. So when he says that, does it bother you at all? Are you okay with it? Like, did you think that implies that you have to pick one, like gospel, R&B, pop, or how do you feel about that comment?
Yeah. So when he said that, pretty much not saying he thought I was all over the place, but just now you have to like really like narrow it down. Like, okay, what artist do you really, really want to go? And I feel like that was a good compliment for me because I've actually heard that before as far as like what lane do you want to go in? Do you want to sing gospel? Do you want to sing R&B? I just love both so much.
Yeah. But music is music, you know. I feel like
Yeah.
there's ways to figure out, like you said, some of your favorite artists like Whitney Houston finds ways to release music that either combine both genres or you are a type of artist but you're able to also release music that speaks to a different genre, you know,
Yeah.
because it's special to you.
Yeah.
They give you kind of a break, right, between filming the duets and showstoppers.
So after the duet, we had about 2 or 3 days in because we had to, practice with the band. Well, give out the song first, what we were gonna sing, and then the band had to rehearse it on their time whenever they had some time, and then send us back over the track so we can listen to it. Like this is how it's gonna go, this is how it's gonna sound. They had to, I guess, the band recorded, the song that I was gonna sing, and then sent it back to me so I can rehearse it. And then the next day we had rehearsals with like a vocal coach and we went over the song that they sent me with the music and we just went over it and pretty much cut out some stuff from the song as far as like because they don't let us sing whole songs. It's be like 2 minutes, like a minute 45 to 2 minutes. So we had to cut out some things as far as like, okay, we're gonna do this part, cut this part out and then go straight to the bridge. Like
Mm-hmm.
make it full, but in a short period of time.
Gotcha. Did you learn anything in particular from vocal coaching that was helpful to you?
Yes, picking out moments from a song. When I sing, yes, but just picking out the very important parts in a song, knowing when to go up and down, which I know how to do that, but just the memorable parts of a song, just where are the good moments, where are the bad moments, stuff like that. So I like that.
How big of an audience had you performed in front of before Showstoppers, and then how did this compare?
I've performed at mm, 15 maybe to
Okay.
20,000. Because when I did the Apollo, it was in the thousands. And then I also performed at the Atlanta Hawks Stadium,
Oh
the
wow.
Atlanta
Okay.
Hawks, the basketball team. I performed there. I did the pregame show twice. So that's like 10 to 15 minutes before the actual game starts. I guess at the time they had already filled up their positions for the Star Spangled Banner, because that's actually my next goal. I want to sing the Star Spangled Banner at a Hawks game, NBA or in the NFL.
And that gives you probably a lot of performance experience for Showstoppers. I mean, because it's not as big of a crowd, but what was that like?
It was natural. It was like never like my first time performing in front of a big crowd or with a
Right.
band and all that with the spotlight, just on you.
And what song for this round?
One Night Only by Jennifer Hudson.
Ooh, okay, another Idol alum. Interesting. She and Fantasia both on the same season.
Oh
It was so
yeah.
controversial when she got sent home, seventh
Yeah.
place. Look at her go, though. I mean, that was
Yeah.
crazy, right?
Yep.
So one night only, and how was that? Because obviously, it must have been so fun to have an audience. The judges, they put them up in a balcony, right? That's what they do
Yes,
for that round.
they're looking down at you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're looking down at you. But when you're singing, you don't really just pay attention to them, because you be
Right.
just focused on your music and singing. Because you really don't even see the crowd like that, because everything's so kind of blacked out and the
Yeah.
spotlight is on you.
A little bit out of order, but I realized I forgot to ask you the song that you sang in the performance challenge. But I'm kind of curious because now that you mentioned that you've had experience with the crowds and even on day one of Hollywood Week, performance challenge, if it's all about this year showing what you can do on stage, that was probably no sweat for you. So what did you sing and how did that go?
I sung Saving All My Love.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, I
You
sung
must have
Saving
killed
All.
that.
Yeah.
That's such a good song. I know that you didn't make it past this round, but I want to hear about the results from the judges because you go to a separate venue to get those, right? Whether or not you're making it to the 26.
We had to travel somewhere else. Ryan Seacrest is there and he's talking to us, and they tell you when you're up next. They'll like give you like an order. Like they'll probably call like 7 or 5 people up at a time to go, to where you need to go. Cause we're like in a barn just waiting around, and you're just standing out, standing outside waiting for the next person to come in, next person to come out, you know. And so once it got to me, well, I still had to do my interviews too. I still had to do my interviews, my little B-roll and all that. So I did all that. And then once it was my turn to go inside to get my results or see what they had to say, I went in, they sitting on a couch. I'm sitting in front of them. And they was just talking to me. Like they was basically just saying, like, hi Destiny. We've been looking back at you since you started, all the way from auditions to the first, second, and then showstopper of the show of all Hollywood. And you just been killing it. And pretty much they were saying like they had to let go of some talented people. Like they've been having to let go of some talented people that pretty much can sing better than them. And they basically told me like, now I just need to figure out what artists I need to become. If they close their eyes, they want to know like, oh, that's destiny. That's pretty much what they said.
That's a high compliment. They said you can sing better than us.
So yeah, they just wanted to figure out what they need. That's still kind of confused, or just need to figure out what lane I'm trying to go into as far as like the artistry, like what artist I'm trying to become.
So, feelings then in that moment.
It was like a little letdown, because my hopes were up, like, okay, I got this, like I feel good about it. But then when they told me, it wasn't like I was just so sad. No, because I just felt like everything's happened for a reason and it's on
Yeah.
God's time. And like what's for you is going to be for you. So like I just know that was just that was the end for me for American Idol, but that was just the beginning of something new and something greater. But I'm glad that I had got the experience and the opportunity because that just shows me a little taste of, what to expect next time as far as like in the music industry, as far as like doing my interviews, being on camera. Because like when I first went to Nashville, I was a little like new. I didn't really know what to do when it came to being on the camera and doing the interviews. So now and then once I got to Hollywood and we kept doing it over and over again, I got used to it. So now I'm pretty much I'm used to it now. So like when the camera's around, you know how if people don't know, they're gonna look at the camera. I just know to ignore it, like, just be natural. So all that it like prepared me for the next thing because I'm kind of aware now of what to expect as far as like being on TV and being on the camera. I'm comfortable.
What have you been up to since the show? I know it's been a couple of months, so
That just made me go harder. Like it pushed me to, just really dive and go deep into my music and really put my foot down and just go all in. That motivated me. Like even though I've always wanted to be a singer, but being on that show, like, okay, let me get myself together. Like, okay, I'm finna go all the way in. So
hmm
it was a humbling experience. It helped me to grow as a person and really figure out what lane as far as music that I want to go in. It really like helped me to like sit down and just think about that as far as like what lane I need to go in or what lane I want to, pursue.
Well, I've been so excited to hear you sing this whole time. Tell me about the song that you've chosen and why you love it so much.
I'm gonna sing the song that I auditioned with, Natural Woman. I just love that song. Like
Yeah, it's so funny. I was like tempted to ask you in the middle. I was like, "Can I hear you sing it?" So I'm so glad that you chose that song.
it's just so powerful and it's so moving. And I feel like it's just like a positive song. Like you make me feel like a natural woman. Like she really talks about it's like a love song, pretty much. But I
Yeah,
like it.
absolutely. Well, I can't wait whenever you're ready.
Looking out on the morning rain. I used to feel so uninspired. But when I knew I had to face another day, Lord, it made me feel so tired. Before the day I met you, life was so unkind, but you're the key to my peace of mind. 'Cause you make me feel, you make me feel like a natural woman. Hey, baby, what you've done to me. You make me feel so good inside. And I just wanna be close to you. You make me feel so alive. 'Cause you make me feel like a natural woman. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm standing up for that. I can't. You can't even see me. I stood up as much as I could from this couch. Wow. Oh
Thank
my
you.
gosh. I'm gonna remember that. Oh my
Thank
gosh.
you.
That's why I love doing this podcast, Destiny. Is it too greedy to ask for a second song?
No, it's not.
Because I love your voice. You're so
Thank
talented.
you. Thank you.
I feel like rather than like comment on how good that was, I just want to hear you sing more, if that's okay.
Mhm. You can. What song? Like, what genre do you want to sing? What genre?
Anything you want. I know that
Um,
puts you on the spot.
I could sing "I Love the Lord" by Whitney Houston. I could sing
Okay,
that.
cool.
Okay. I love the Lord. He heard my cry and pitied every groan. Long as I live and troubles rise, I'll hasten to his throne.
Wow. Thank you for doing a second song.
You're welcome.
You know what I think about your voice? First of all, I think you were born to sing. I know that's the most cliche thing in the world. And I think your voice can heal people
Thank you.
wherever you are, whatever stage, of any size, in any room, to one person, to a million people. Clearly, you were put on this earth to sing.
Thank you.
I'm like Luke, I don't have any words.
Well, I'm glad I can be like an inspiration to someone. And, like, yes, I sing. I want to become a singer. Like, I want to travel, live in my purpose. I just, want people to believe what I believe as far as like singing, like feel what I feel when I sing. I just want to uplift people, inspire people to sing when I sing. I want them to feel what I'm feeling and believe what I'm singing when I do sing. So yeah, I just want to uplift people because like you never know it. If somebody having a bad day, I want them to have a great day after I get done singing.
That's that's exactly what I picture when I hear you sing. Is I think of somebody being happy and having their joyful moments, and it's like you're the soundtrack to that. But also, if someone's struggling or suffering and they need hope, you're the soundtrack to that. Because your voice, I feel like it has that, either that healing power or that joyful power,
Yeah.
that someone needs. So thank you for sharing that with us,
You're welcome.
man. What should people look out for from you? Because I can't wait for, with every day that passes, more people to hear you sing. So what projects were you working on? Where
So
can people follow
right
you?
now I'm actually working on my EP. Well, I'm actually finished with it. So I'm finna drop my EP very soon, like
Cool.
in the next month. But
Uh-huh.
I'm not sure if I want to drop the EP first or the single first.
Mm.
Like to get people attention, like drop the single first and then drop the EP. But
Mm.
the single's still going to be on the EP, but just get people attention. So I'm finna drop some music real soon.
And where can people follow you?
You can follow me on Instagram at I am Destiny Reeves and also TikTok, which is I am Destiny Reeves. And you can also follow me on YouTube, which is Destiny Reeves, and Facebook, which is Destiny Reeves.
Any parting words about American Idol or about music, or any advice you have to aspiring musicians or people that want to go on American Idol?
I encourage everyone to follow your dreams. And if you want to do American Idol, just go for it. I mean, what's stopping you? Just, if they tell you no, just keep going, keep going, keep going, because eventually you're going to get that yes. Like, you're going to get that yes. So if you want to become a singer, I just want to let everyone know that, whatever you're going through, if you're feeling down or you feel like you're not good enough, just keep pushing because someone out there hears you, they understand you. So I just want everyone to follow their dreams. So if you have some type of passion that you're good at or you trying to pursue, just follow your dreams, just keep going. Cause like if you keep going, consistency is key. So if you keep doing it, eventually you're going to get something good out of that.
Absolutely.
Just never give up.
Mm. Never. Well, Destiny, I'm so happy that I got to meet you. So thankful that you took time to talk with us. Really appreciate it. Guys, if you enjoyed this conversation, make sure you follow us Instagram at Idol and Aired Podcast. Thank you so much. I'm also the production supervisor on the Victoriously Crazy podcast. We interview cast members from the show Victorious on Nickelodeon, so check that out as well. You can follow me on Instagram at TV Music Guy. Destiny, thank you very much for being a part of American Idol and Aired. Have an awesome day.
Thank you. You too. Bye.